This episode is brought to you by Gazelle, the all-in-one business management software for piano technicians who want to spend less time juggling calendars and more time on themselves and the work they love. Be sure to check out some of Gazelle's newest resources with more than 8 hours of video lessons on learning aural tuning and tuning ergonomics, skills we as technicians use every day. Whether you are growing your skills or your business, Gazelle will help you save time and wow customers. Visit growwithgazelle.com/ProPTN to learn more. I'm McKinley Coda, and you're listening to the ProPTN Podcast, an interview talk show for piano technicians to tune in to what the pros are talking about from across the industry. If you enjoyed today's episode, show us some love by following us on your podcasting platform and leaving us a review. To learn more about us here at the Professional Piano Technicians Network, visit us at proptn.org. Hello and welcome to the show. I'm your host, McKinley, and today I'm going to be joined by Quebecois native Allan Sutton. Allan, who has more than 20 years of experience in piano technology and a master's degree in piano interpretation from the Université de Montréal, is the founder of Piano Technique Montréal. In addition to being a mentor to many, he is particularly passionate about teaching business owners about how they can use AI to alleviate the burdens of administrative work. Allan, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me. I'm excited to be here.
Absolutely. I'm excited to get started. So to start us off, can you give us a brief overview of your career in piano technology and all the different places it has taken you over the years?
So we were teaching piano. We had a small music school and many pianos to tune, and it was costly to have them tuned. And my father had taught us that we could not fear dismantling a toaster or something. And I would sit at the workbench for hours looking at him. So I was not afraid to go inside myself and
take a crack at it. Yeah. Did the two of you do a lot of building together, or do you have any special memories of things you would have worked on together?
Well, I was looking at what he was repairing, and of course, at 8, I was hoping I would find the thing that he was not seeing. This screw is unscrewed, or this capacitor is bulging, or
yeah.
That's what I remember. The other thing I remember is my father comes to help me install a light on the ceiling. And when he's gone, my wife says to me, "Oh, it was difficult that you were yelling at each other." So we were, hold this. No, don't like that. But it was just a natural way.
It takes two builders to replace a light bulb. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had some talent as a child. So they were already thinking, oh, what will this guy do to earn a living? So they brought the piano tuner in, and they sat me by the piano. I think I was 9 and they had told him that they wanted me to witness what he was doing because that could be a career path for me.
Oh, wow.
So maybe at 9, I was sitting there. I remember distinctly this old grumpy Mandrix, his name. He was trying to make me hear beats, I suppose now. Listen, do you hear? Do you hear? He was trying to listen. I had no clue. He was not a teacher, so I didn't know. Do you hear? Do you hear? And when it was finished, he told me, "Oh, chacun son métier, les vaches seront bien gardées." So I don't think you have this in English. It means to each his métier is a craft, and the cows will be well taken care of. You have nothing like that in English. So he was telling me you'll never have talent in that. I was 9.
Oh
I couldn't listen. I couldn't hear the beats.
Wow, what a thing to say to a 9-year-old.
Yeah.
Now, you've been such a mentor and teacher to so many since then. How has that experience influenced how you teach now?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. You're telling me maybe I'll be more encouraging than he was to me.
I feel like I'll frequently be tuning and I'll have a child come in who's just kind of curious. And so every once in a while I'll say, oh, I have it really out of tune and now it's in tune now. Do you hear the difference? And I'll start asking them, okay, do you think now it's in tune? And sometimes they really get along with it. They enjoy it, I think.
Yeah. So I remember this experience when I do that. Yeah. So I'd say, I'll play you 2 notes. First note and the second note. Okay, tell me which note is nicer sounding. Is this the first note? Or is it the second note? So we start from there. Most people hear that it's nicer when it's quieter.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that's it. And then I was teaching and I started tuning pianos for our students' parents. And I found it was great. It gave me more perspective.
I feel like knowing more about the students' pianos helps you know more about the students and how they perform or practice.
Yes, but when I was teaching, it was a pretty separate career. I taught and then I stopped teaching and I started piano technology. So that's more than 20 years I haven't been teaching at all. And there was not a big overlap between the two. What I can say is I started to look at my own pianos because it was costly to have the piano tuner. And I was not convinced at the job they were doing. So I said, maybe I should look at it myself. And I started doing that. And as much as I love teaching piano,
Mhm.
I never looked back. I'm very happy with this career.
Out of curiosity, when you got started and you were first learning how to tune, did you learn from somebody else or a course?
Yeah. I had a mentor, somebody who was generous and giving me my few tools, the first tools. But I did study a lot by myself. The Piano Technicians Guild, 20 years ago, it was an email list.
Hmm. Well, how has your background as a piano teacher influenced your career in piano technology and how you got started?
Piano teaching, it's a lot about giving music to the families, and that was driving me. And we do it the same with piano technology. We tune the piano. We're not a piano teacher, but we participate in the musical life of this family. So that's our purpose when we tune piano. We don't much tune pianos, but we work with the people.
Yeah. Out of curiosity, when I am tuning an older piano and I am asking the client about who's playing the piano, they will often say, well, my child is just starting out. They're just learning lessons. So we got this piano to see if they're interested. And I feel like our experience as teachers and technicians will often lead us to say, well, this piano isn't, might not support that kind of repertoire, might not support that early education. Do you have any tips or habits when you're having those conversations with parents?
When we get to a piano, we get to the person first. So we do spend quite a bit of time in talking about the piano and asking, what's this piano to you? Who plays the piano? We insist that the person play the piano for us. Most of them want to do it. And they'll say, oh, I don't play anymore. Or
Yeah.
so at one point, depending on the state of the piano, the conversation will certainly go to, is it worth it? And sometimes that's a question we do have. It's not a simple question to answer. So as many people, there are as many answers. Old piano can very well be the entry into the music world. And when limitations will become too important, we will talk about the next step. But
It sounds
yeah.
like being sure to have those conversations with elegance and grace and consideration for their situation is usually a must.
Absolutely. We don't want to say from the get go, this piano is worth nothing without knowing what it can be worth to their heart.
Yeah.
And often the old pianos, the family history. And then we try to help them choose what's the best course to honor the gift of music and their family. Maybe it's the music that's the gift, not so much the instrument. But
Circling back to my earlier question, how has your experience in mechanics and, or at least your interests in those things, how has that influenced piano technology and perhaps the way that you do work?
well, the mechanical intelligence is so important in tuning.
Yeah.
So the first thing I will ask somebody who is interested in this craft is, were you sitting by the side of your father when he was repairing things at the workbench?
Yeah.
Do you have experience with a screwdriver?
Yeah. It's funny because I also remember sitting at my father's workbench and watching him repair things too. So maybe there is a common thread there. Yeah.
So, as a musician, I love to play the piano, but piano technology is also something that's related to my way of doing things or thinking things. Something is broken, you fix it, and then it's fixed.
And you get better at isolating the problem and trying to find where it is.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, of course, sure.
I noticed you had an article on repairing cold crack damage in polyester finish. I assume
Yeah.
this must be a really common issue in Quebec, though I don't get those much in my climate. Can you tell us a little bit about that issue and how you guys go about repairing it? Any special tips, tricks, or tools that are a must for that repair?
3 times I saw that. I was not paid to do that. I was replacing the hammers on a Bosendorfer,
Oh,
but there were cold cracks on that piano. So I said to my apprentice, let's try to do this. We'll learn as we do. And there's a nice description of how to fix that in the Koenig polyester repair manual.
okay.
Allied piano.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a procedure there. You clean, then you use CA glue, and then you sand. And it's so well explained, and the result was amazing and incredible. Polyester repair. It's not something we do. We tried our hand at it, but that repair was so easy and satisfying. It was perfect.
Oh, wonderful. It sounds like it's basically the same kind of repair as doing a polyester repair.
No, because the regular polyester repair would require you to make a channel to remove a lot of material and then fill with polyester. But that's not it. You let CA glue seep into the joint.
I see.
So usually the cold crack, the two sides are going up. Am I saying
Like
it?
puckered.
Yeah. So you insert CA glue. Previously, you put deep black color, cleaning this with accelerator first. And then you have to read it in the book. It's very well explained. And you have CA glue seep. That's it. And then you sand the little ridges.
Oh, it looked seamless.
Yeah, it's amazing. It was one of the most satisfying thing. We have a new apprentice, Margot. She's 27. She's amazing. She's so excited. And when she sees something like that, it's so satisfying for her. She's right. She's excited. And shouldn't we follow our excitement?
Yes, yes,
There's a lot
sir.
of excitement.
I've heard you're passionate about legacy. Can you tell us about how you have encouraged piano technicians to consider how they will be remembered?
I'm excited about if what I'm building will still stand when I'm gone.
Because you're currently transitioning your business to somebody else, right?
Yeah, so he was an apprentice. Then 7 years later, Nicolas Lessard is a partner in the business. And it's him that will keep the business going and growing, maybe, when I'm not there anymore.
Yeah.
So think of that early in your career. Because I was a little late in thinking about that, but still it's working out.
What are some practices, procedures, or attitudes that are a must for a graceful transition in selling your business?
I think I'm incredibly fortunate to have met Nicolas, to have met Margot. We have an employee for a year, Jean-Philippe. I think I'm so fortunate to have Jean-Philippe. Louise was studying piano when we were much, much younger, but she's doing office work. So I'm very, very fortunate. I don't know what's the so I must be doing something right. Something in my attitude is right.
So find the right team to continue your legacy,
Yeah,
find the
for
right people
sure.
to represent you and handle the clients who you've built relationships with.
And having more emotional intelligence.
Okay.
For sure, emotional intelligence is something that I've had to work on and
How do you find yourself developing your emotional intelligence as you get older and transition away from your business?
taking care of people, putting myself in their shoes, having a wonderful wife who helps me become a better person.
Right. What are some of the ways that you make sure to take care of your technicians?
Listening more than talking. Same for the customers. Listening more than playing. I used to tune the piano and then I play my piano. Chopin studies, Rachmaninoff things, but that's not the right attitude. Let's make the customer be the hero of the story.
Oh, I love that.
So trying to make the apprentices hero of their story.
Wow.
And why not make my employees be the hero of their life? That's not me. I did not invent that. I don't know where that comes from, but
Regardless, that's beautiful. Hi there, this is McKinley from the editing room, here to remind you that if you have not already signed up for a ProPTN subscription, you're seriously missing out. Whether you need articles from our Beginner's Corner to help supplement your students' education, or if you're a seasoned tech who wants a refresher on certain specialty skills, ProPTN has got you covered with peer-reviewed editorial content, video demonstrations, and photographed step-by-step instructionals. On top of that, the collection is our online marketplace that is a must for maintaining your tool collection. If you want to try a tuning lever before you buy it, you can check out our rent-a-lever program. If you make and design your own tools, you can sign up to distribute them through the collection. If you're a retiring technician, we can sell your tool collection on consignment. Or you can just go shopping for a whole selection of new and used tools from brands and technicians you trust. So what are you waiting for? Go sign up now and you'll thank me later. Anyways, back to the show. Now, you're also passionate about teaching technicians how they can use AI to help their business, in particular ChatGPT. How has ChatGPT helped you with Piano Technique Montréal? And what are your top 5 favorite tasks for which you recommend ChatGPT?
I love technology. I was about to say I love where the world is going, but I'm not sure I love where the world is going. But technology is exciting. I am excited about technology. So when the AI came to us in November 23, I was excited by that and I saw how it could help me. As I'm growing older, I would like for all I know to be accessible to the next generation in my company, at least. So there are possibilities that AI would help us do. So I started experimenting with it. And one of the first things that was so great to do is we had an insurance company who would not pay our invoices. They would not pay. I would call, we would write an email. They would not pay. So I sat with ChatGPT and I said, we have this insurance company who will not pay our invoices. I typed the whole situation, the name of the company, the name of the contact. So ChatGPT answered, first thing you need to do is do a formal notice. So how do I do a formal notice? Do I need an avocat? No, you can do it yourself. So here's a draft. So I worked with that a little bit, a draft. So we tried contact this date. Those are the two invoices. It gave me a very professional looking formal notice.
Yeah.
And I sent that. And the same afternoon, the boss of the company wrote us, the check is in the mail. Don't worry. And I got the check the day after.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
So my subscription of ChatGPT Pro was paid for the next 10 years, let's say.
Gotcha.
Blog posts. We have some English speaking clients, and while I can make myself understood, I think even with my French accent, writing is something else. If I write English, it will be immediately apparent that I'm not a native. But ChatGPT is amazing at translation. Even difficult situations with clients, a client who will be unhappy with something, with our service, we can give that to ChatGPT and ask him because I call my ChatGPT, I call Chad. I ask Chad, what should I do with this client? How should I answer? ChatGPT will give a better, more gracious answer that I might write if I'm with the emotion of, I'm mad or I'm sad. So the answer will be more professional. And of course, we don't take the first draft. We have to work. Please make it a little more like this or a little more friendly.
Yeah. That is something that I remember learning about ChatGPT is when they write something up, you can say, oh, make it meaner, make it even more, or make it even nicer, make it even
Yeah,
friendlier. And they'll just keep
right.
rewriting it to make it more and more so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Longer, shorter,
Yeah.
make a poem out of it,
Yeah.
make a haiku out of it. It's just
Yeah.
fun, just for fun, even just for fun. You
Yeah.
can.
Yeah.
So you know the ChatGPT advanced vocal mode? So we can speak to the phone and say something and have a conversation with ChatGPT. Driving in the car, I have ideas for business. So I have a conversation with ChatGPT and it will ask me questions. It will write me a summary of the conversation we just had for 30 minutes. And like nothing like having a real human or a friend sometimes to talk to or mentors, but no judgment. ChatGPT will not judge you. Anything that's on your mind, I feel bad about something, I'm not sure about this. Before you see your therapist, you can do a brainstorming with ChatGPT.
Yeah. And I feel like when the internet first became a thing, when we first had search engines, we thought that we would be able to ask these questions, but the formatting was different. You have to use keywords. You still might only get a few
Exactly.
websites. It's very specific. Search engines
Exactly.
only give you a certain set of results versus asking something that can kind of rationalize and interpret
Yeah, so you don't have to write precisely with no mistakes. You have to learn to ask the right questions. That's important.
Hmm.
So as a piano technician, we get into a client's house. It's often about asking the right questions to the client. It's not always answering. Sometimes we tend to answer questions that haven't even been asked. So
Yeah.
asking the right questions to AI is very important and you can work with it.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. It really is. Of course, it will not replace us as a
Yeah.
tuning hammer handler,
Yeah.
and apps are so great. Pianoscope,
Yeah.
TuneLab, and we have Gazelle for
Hmm.
client interaction workflow. For now, we are well served, but we can take Gazelle info, export the info, and then ask insightful reports.
Like data marketing or how to market to your clientele based on what it might pick up.
It would help us for that, for sure. But
Yeah.
if I want to know how many of our clients are repeat clients and how many are new clients, once I export the CSV of all our clients' history from Gazelle and I give it to ChatGPT, it will tell me 60% of your clients are repeating clients and 40% are new clients. So, what does that mean for the health of our business? It said those figures are very approximate, but
Wow.
it will say this shows a good balance between the two. It shows that you provide a good service, so the client want to make repeat calls, and it also shows that your marketing is adequate to bring new clients, which is also something that is important for the health of the business.
Wow. That I didn't even think about that. That's such a good idea.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
something else that I'm excited about is programming. I did a little bit of basic and at school at my age, I remember where we put cardboard with holes in them, and we would bring this old pile of cardboard cards with punches, and then we would bring that to the department, and 2 days later, we received the listing with the result. That was the early days of computers.
Okay. Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
now it's so much improved. But I
Yeah.
did try myself at basic a little bit. But then I said, oh, what I need to do is to find a friend who's good at coding. And now we have Lovable. So even ChatGPT can help us make a macro if you want to have Google Sheet or Excel, do things that are not native or you don't know. You can also ask, I want to do this in Excel. How do I do? And if the function is not already included, it helps me do a script.
Yeah.
Go in this menu and take this, and then it does Java coding,
Wow.
which I never learned. I don't. But doing that, I learn about coding. I know about backend, and then I connect that to a database, and that's great. That's so exciting.
Wow. Yeah. No
That's so
kidding.
exciting. I did an app for if a client is outside of our immediate territory, I want to have a calculator of the additional fees for distance. So there's a formula, and I had worked with the programmer for doing that. It was very long back and forth, and now I can do it myself.
Wow.
This guy in India was not happy that I told him, I'm sorry, I just did it myself. He was not happy.
Well, you know, it's funny because when AI first became popular, it started scraping the internet for art that was created by other artists. And so somebody I know said it's funny that everybody thought AI was going to be going for the accounting jobs or programming jobs, but the first thing that it endangered was artistic jobs.
Yeah,
The
that's,
irony
I
was
think that's good. I have a friend, he was a photographer, and he was doing art on his computer, digital art.
Mhm.
And so I told him about AI. Look what it can do. Look, and he took that for himself. He installed the plugins in his software, and he started using that. His art has exploded like it's amazing of colors and forms and imagination. He's never worked so hard on one drawing. Okay, it's not replacing
Wow.
him. It's just empowering him.
That makes me so happy to hear. That's especially because, yeah, using it as a tool for the artists. I haven't heard too many instances of that, I suppose.
Yeah, we hear of singers here who cloned their voice and used it in their own production, and so
Yeah. Is there anything you're excited to see AI do in the future, or any ways you're looking forward to seeing it develop?
yeah, there are still things that are not available to us. All our procedures, processes are documented in a Google Drive in folders and in documents. So we have pictures, we have texts, we have description of how do we approach the client, and will it be in a year or two. All this knowledge can be included in an AI, so it's that my trainees or employees can use. It's not there yet
Yeah.
at my level. Big companies can start doing that, but as I'm growing old, I think, how will I grow old? Will I be lonely? Will I have somebody to talk to? I hope I will have my friends around me, but having a little AI robot,
Yeah.
it's so great. Talk
Yeah.
to it when you're sad. You'll be amazed.
Have there been any ways that AI has helped you with transitioning the business to Nicola?
Yes, because there's not a day without me brainstorming with it. Or we had signed a contract in 2017, so now I can have Notebook LM. That's another good system. Notebook LM can study the document, and I can ask questions. What was planned in terms of this aspect of the transition?
Yeah. What was that app called?
Notebook LM.
Notebook LM. I haven't heard of
Yeah,
that one. I'll have to
it's
look it up.
free. Yeah. Also, I asked Anna permission to put the evaluation book, piano evaluation, Larry Fine's.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I've got that book. Yeah. Great book.
Yeah. So I asked Anna for permission, but I fed this book into Notebook LM. And I have a podcast now between two people, sound very natural, talking about the book and the different aspects of the book. You haven't heard that?
No, I didn't get that one. Oh my
I had
gosh.
sent that to Anna.
I'll have to ask her for it. Yeah. You've also used technology to your advantage by hosting Zoom evaluations for your clients. I thought it was such a great idea reading about it on your website. Could you tell us about what those appointments entail?
I can say a lot about a piano by listening to the piano and having the client show me the piano. And so I haven't put any marketing on that. I mentioned it on the website, but once in a while, somebody will ask me for an appointment. There's a piano, free piano, and before you take the free piano, maybe it's worthwhile to have a piano technician look at it. But looking at it, it's pretty costly to have us go.
Mm-hmm.
But I can do for a very minimal fee, sitting here, look at the piano, play me the A, show me the make,
Mm-hmm.
press the pedal, so I can rapidly do a little report if I think it's worthwhile.
Yeah.
And if it's worthwhile, the cost of that first meeting is
Would you say it's half of a regular service fee, a third of a regular?
oh yeah, it's a third, but it will be applied to the next visits.
Oh, I see. Okay. That's a good practice. I like that a lot.
So I'd like to make a little more effort on that. There are many technicians around the world who can help clients remotely.
Yeah, no kidding. Now, do you have any business practices, habits, or procedures that you feel are a must for organizing a team of technicians?
For managing many technicians, for sure, Gazelle is central to that because we can add a technician and make those chosen clients his clients in Gazelle. And when they see clients, we have access to the information. And also, the less experienced technician, they have us to call if there's anything, any question at the client's piano. So I started alone with this learning. And now a less experienced technician who's working for us is supported by our presence. So the client is happy that we're there
Yeah.
and the technician feels more confident.
Yeah. What are some of the most common mistakes that you see newbies make when they're entering the field for the first time?
I've been told not once by a technician who had done it for a few years already that if they had known that it was so complex and so difficult, they would not have entered the field.
Wow.
Because my excitement is in learning, learning,
Yeah.
learning. So I can't relate to that.
Yeah, me neither. I remember when I first met Hannah and she took me out to lunch to tell me about the industry. She said, it's a really long learning curve
Mm.
and you won't make much money in the first year. And
Hmm.
any money you do make, you'll spend on tools, but you will be able to learn endlessly. You'll be able to learn
Yeah,
forever. And that's what really hooked me into
yeah,
the
yeah.
industry. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a wise thing to tell you.
Yeah, yeah. So, what are some of the ways that you hope to see the industry change in the future?
I don't know. I know the industry is in disarray. Those who sell pianos, they have a tough time selling pianos. I think there will be pianos in the concert halls, and we see a lot of people who like playing piano and for whom it's such a plus in their life. So I figure for a few generations, there are people who will have their piano tuned and maintained. And if we do it well, they will have more success with their music. And if they have more success with their music, their friends will want to do the same, who think that gives them so much joy. And
Yeah.
I love a real piano. I love my hybrid piano,
You've got a hybrid.
the Yamaha, yeah, N2.
Wow.
Yeah, so I cannot clean the house now. It's too loud. The grand piano is central to the house
Mm-hmm.
these days. I can't play.
Yeah.
But the hybrid, it's remarkable.
Yeah.
The keys, they vibrate under the fingers. There are transducers under the key bed. And so you can hear the piano soft, but still you have this buzzing under the fingers, which we don't realize when we play the acoustic piano, but it's there. You play a chord in the acoustic piano, you hear it, but the fingers feel something also.
Yeah.
So pianos for the small apartments, they're too heavy. Why don't they make them lighter?
All right. Well, all good things must come to an end. This has been such a lovely interview. To wrap us up, can you tell us your favorite thing about piano technology and your favorite tool?
Yeah, favorite tool. I got a good answer for that. Favorite tool is the vacuum cleaner.
Yes.
I got
Yes.
three favorite tools: vacuum cleaner, the chalk, and the upright impact hammer
Oh, yeah.
from Rayburn. My three favorite tools.
Out of curiosity, what kind of vacuum do you use?
It's a little Black& Decker, portable and rechargeable. So it's not for big jobs, obviously, but and also a benefit that the client hears is that you're doing more to their piano
Mm-hmm.
than.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
you would spend a lot of time explaining to the customer, we do a little more, we will clean. They'd say,
Mm-hmm.
oh,
Yeah.
no, I don't need cleaning. I just want, but you don't have to explain. You just let them hear.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the chalk is, as you're tuning, you hear a little something, and you can fix this and fix that. And we know that every small problem, they add up, and even a small problem in a register will make this whole register sound bad.
Yeah.
And the upright tuning hammer, obviously, is for preventing injuries.
So then that just leaves your favorite thing about piano technology.
Uh, Favorite thing about piano technology is people.
Yes. Yes. The people.
They want to learn. They want to learn better. They want to learn differently. And then a year later, they tell me, wow, it made such a difference. So that's fun. That's fun.
Well, Allan, you've been a fabulous guest. I really appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Another huge thank you to Gazelle for sponsoring this episode, and another thank you to Allan for joining us. If you'd like to hear Allan as a featured guest on the Sabrina Romanoff podcast on AI, you can check out the show notes for this episode. Or if you'd like to reach out to Allan about his work or how you can use AI to improve your business, you can visit pianotechniquemontreal.com. That's technique spelled Nique at the end. Otherwise, till next time, listeners.